What's up, planty friends? I'm back. I know, it's been so long. I love the support you guys gave me in my first video of my unboxing video, and I told you stay tuned, so much more plant content to come, and then I realized making videos is really hard. I don't like editing, so that's the thing. I had to get a new phone because I had no storage. There's no storage on my laptop, there's no storage on my iPad. I had no storage to record a video. A few weeks ago, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I did a repotting video of this spider plant here. That whole time I struggled. My phone was just like, there's no more storage space on your phone to record anything. I have taken some time to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted to do with this channel, and I know that I said that I was going to do a plant tour video, and here it is. We're going to do it. I was going to try to do a chronological order of like when I received my plants to kind of build up the plant journey of like how it turned into a little bit of an obsession, a little bit of a problem in my life where I just disassociate from reality and just stare at my plants all day. So I was going to do that, but I feel like I'm going to lose track of all of them, so I'm going to do them by section, so where they're at individually, and then hopefully I can cover all my bases. There's 27 plants according to my list that I wrote down, but last I counted there's 28, so maybe one died? I don't know. Each one of my plants has a story, and that kind of brings me to the whole plant journey. Everybody has a plant story. Everybody's plant comes from somewhere, someone, a gift. You paid way too much money for it, you found it, you had to have it. So I'm gonna kind of just like tell you a little bit about each plant and their story and see if I can kind of piece that all together and show you all of my plants in one video. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of take you to this corner here. This is mostly just succulents in this corner, and majority of my collection is cacti. Succulents. I never did well before with houseplants, so I had a lot of plants that I had and I killed them, I overwater, I underwater, I touch, I repot, I do too much, and then they die. So I started getting cacti and they survived because I would just ignore them, and here they are. So this is a lot of like where the journey started, was a lot of these guys here. So we'll go ahead and start off with this one back here. This is a type of aloe plant. It's a Hyawarthia, and I received it from some friends. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a post where I posted it when I first got it and what it looks like now. It was so tiny when I first got it, and now it's so big. It's got those little warts on it. That's how I remember the name, Hyawarthia. Because it's like the little tiny warts on there. It does have a bunch of new sprouts coming out in the center there, and it's very green and vibrant, so that's really cool. This little guy was a gift from my cousin in Arizona. She gave this to me for Christmas. Shout out to my cousin, hey. And it came with a bunch of other little succulents in here, and they were all very tiny, but all of the rocks on top were glued, and I was like, is this plant even real? So I put it somewhere and kind of ignored it, and then realized the other plants were dead, and I was like, this is real, I have to rescue it. So I like chipped all of the rocks out of here. You can see there's like still some stuff like glued to this little sign here. Chipped everything out of there, but this little guy survived. I barely water him. His soil is super airy. I don't even know. When I repotted it and looked at, there's no roots in there. I don't know what he needs, but he's there, living his life. And this aloe here is an aloe maculata. So aloe maculata, just an aloe plant. Saw him at Home Depot, had to have him. The donkey tail. So I got this guy. I have a photo of when I first got him, so maybe I could share on my Instagram a growth journey of this plant. You can tell there's like so much new growth coming in, and he just looks gorgeous. He's very sensitive to repot. The beads fall off very, very easily. So I haven't really repotted him. He's still in his nursery pot, but he seems to be happy in there, so I'm gonna keep him in there as long as I can. Next up, we have your basic aloe vera plant. I received this trimming here from my mother-in-law's aloe plant. Put it in some water, let it root, put it in the dirt, and all these new things came out. This one popped up, this one popped up. And you can see down in there, they just continue to grow. There's so many new little babies popping up. It's so exciting. So eventually this whole thing is just gonna be fully grown. It's gonna like pop out of it. This little guy down here, he is called a Ming Ting. Sorry, that seems like a little bit of an offensive name, but it truly, the research I've done, that's what they say. I can't tell you if he is grown. We've had him for 2 years, and I think maybe this stuff down here is new growth. I water him, he gets dry. He was gifted with Jeffrey here. That's Jeffrey. And yeah, I don't know. He's a funky looking cactus, so I don't know what to do with him truly. The next one we have here is this little guy. I still don't know how to identify him. I know that I got him from Home Depot. I got him from Home Depot with this guy. And I got him because I was like, he's so cute. He was just down here on the base, like just this much growth. And there was a blossom coming off. So there was a little blossom and I was like, I want to get him just to see what his flower will look like. And then I brought him home and I sat him on the counter. And then Squeakers, my cat, bit the blossom off and we never got to see the blossom. But once that happened, it started to grow. It started to shoot out like this. And you can kind of see the like red spine that he has. He just is like super hairy in the inside. And the leaves are very soft. This is another type of like aloe, I believe. I did a succulent garden party once at school, and he came with a couple other cactus in a bigger pot. It was all decorated. It was kind of cheesy looking, so everything else died but this thing. So I rescued him, took him out, put him in here, and slowly but surely he just puts out these new little shoots and keeps growing. So I guess he's happy. I just keep him there. Continuing the tour over to this side, some more succulents, cacti. This one back here was gifted to me years ago. This is one of the very first plants that I've gotten that has survived. So I would say this guy is probably like 6 or 7 years old now. I've had him for a while. As you can see down here in the base, he has some blue in there. He was one of those blue spray painted cacti that you get from the grocery store. I hated that. I hated that it was blue, and I kind of just blew it off. See what I did there? I just ignored it for a while, and then it continued to grow these new little buddies. Really, really big. He's just a little bit of an awkward soul. Next, we have this little guy. He was in another pot from a cactus, which I'll show you in a minute. He was in a plant together with another succulent. Wasn't happy, so I pulled it out and put him in his own little pot, and he's had like these 2 new little guys in the middle have popped up. He got gnats really bad, and so I had to dry him out really bad, and then he got really, really wet. So we've had a little bit of a turmoil relationship. So I'm trying to help him out. He's very awkward. Next, we have a Christmas cactus. It was a white elephant gift from Christmas. I got it, and I brought it home. It was a tiny little pot. And then my cat ate it and he got really sick. I thought we were gonna have to get rid of the plant. But luckily, since then, he's left it alone. He does blossom every once in a while. The plant, not my cat. So the plant does blossom. He does put out beautiful red flowers around Christmas, around Easter, Thanksgiving. That's why they call them a holiday cactus, because they typically just blossom in the winter. But I have seen this pop out flowers in the summer as well, so it's kind of inconsistent. It kind of does his own thing. He seems to do pretty well in this corner right next to this window. So also this window here is a west facing window, so everything seems to get like, they get some direct sunlight in the evening, but for the most part it's just really good indirect sunlight is what they get here. Okay, Big Daddy's spider plant. The story of this guy. This was my brother's, and he started it from a very tiny plant, and then he had to move and he gave it to my mom, and my mom had it for years and she took care of it. Well, then my mom had passed away back in 2018, and she had a green thumb. She had plenty of houseplants, and I just kind of wanted to do what she did with houseplants, and that's kind of where it started. After my mom had passed away, I got this plant. I got gifted a lot of plants, And that's kind of where the obsession started, where I kicked off from having just that bunny ear blue cactus to having a lot of other houseplants. And that's kind of where it all took off. When I repotted him in that video on Instagram, you saw that he really just needed new soil. And since I put him in there and gave him new soil and watered him, he has been so happy. He's usually like a light green, and now he's this dark green color, and he's sticking straight up. He's doing so well. He's popping out new leaves. So I'm really glad that I did that to give him some new nutrients and to get him to grow. Okay, my favorite little babies. This is my favorite section. We have the golden pothos, and it is the highlight of my life. Look at this variegation. Can you believe it? He is just so amazing. I think that these guys are underrated. Everybody has pothos. They're so easy to grow. I literally took him as a clipping from my office. I took 3 clippings, put it in water. I think it sat in water for about a year. It re-rooted, and then I potted him. And I would say this year the variegation has taken off. There is one jade pothos in there that is not variegated, and he's a slow grower, so he doesn't grow very much in there. But I mean, he is just so great, and he's just so underrated. I really love the colors that are in there. You can even see the variegation. I don't know if I can get it on camera here, but you can see the variegation in the stem, how it's like green and yellow. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. The next highlight of my life, my very favorite begonia. Guys, look at how big that leaf is. Can you believe the beauty that is this begonia? That little baby leaf. This was gifted to me by my aunt. She was gifted some trimmings of this plant from a friend of hers. And unfortunately, her friend passed away. She was such an amazing person. So easy to get along with. She was such a nice lady. My aunt had that trimming from that lady's plants, and her plant gets crazy, and so she trims it back, and she just gives everybody clippings of this begonia. It's a double-winged begonia, and this plant is the hot new trend on the internet, and I have one, and it's so cool to have one that like everyone else has, and I have one. Man, I am so very lucky to have it, and it just keeps popping out new leaves right now, and watching them unfurl is like the coolest thing ever. So I'm hoping that this also can get really big and just take off, and I can do some trimmings of it as well. Okay, these two are the situations. We have some alocasias here, right? This was in my unboxing video. You guys saw him in the unboxing video. He came from Florida. Beautiful black velvet alocasia. And friends, look at his new leaf that's popping up. Can you believe that? He's doing so well. And I just, look at how fun he is. His leaves are just so beautiful. Oh, great, right? Doing so well. Look at this alocasia. Alocasia poly. He was so happy when I first got him. I got him from my local plant store, and he just keeps dropping leaves. No new growth, and this was the newest leaf, and I just noticed today that he also is starting to die. So you know what? Maybe we're just not an alocasia poly family. Maybe that's just not for us. I did see one that was like quadruple the size at Safeway, and it was 20 bucks, and I was like, should I just get one that's already fully grown? And if it's alive at a grocery store, then maybe I could keep it alive here. So these are my prized possession shelves. These are very special to me. The alocasia are up there because they are very toxic to cats. I have 3 cats, so I try to keep them away. The begonia, I think it's just a really good spot for him. They like indirect light, and the pothos literally can grow anywhere, so I really like it right here. All right, we have a little bit of a propagation station here. I have my philodendron micans that I got from my sister, literally her right there. And I got these from her because I knew she had it, so I waited to buy one. I didn't want to buy one because I knew that she had them. So I waited to go to her house, and then I did some propagation in some spag moss. That was not working, so I finally just put it in water. Tried and true water. That is the way to go. You can kind of see the roots coming in. She trying, y'all. She trying. I'm trying to get her to root. This is a baby from Big Daddy. He is rooting and tooting in there, folks. Look at that. Put him in there just 2 weeks ago and he's already rooting and he's already putting out a new baby. Okay, I'm gonna take you out of my patio because I have one outside. Once again, the spider plant that I had shown you from before that I re-rooted. These were just a bunch of propagations that I had, and I put them in some soil. I'm gonna give it to my sister, like I said, so she has some of this spider plant that was once our mother's. So he looks really good in here. He has this little baby hanging off. There was another baby on here, and the cat ate it, because the cats eat everything. From my unboxing video, you guys may remember the Hoya that I got. So the Hoya, it has definitely dropped a few of these white leaves. It's still so beautiful though, but since I put it outside, it was not doing well inside. It had some leaves that were dying. I didn't know what to do. The soil is really weird, and I just threw it outside. I was like, here, be outside in the heat. And then it started popping out these new leaves. Look at the pink on that leaf. Can you believe it? New leaf there. I feel like maybe she likes it, but we're in beautiful Colorado and it's September 6th and it's gonna snow on Tuesday, 4 inches. So it's 90 degrees right now. It's supposed to be 95 tomorrow, and then it's supposed to snow on Tuesday. So I'm gonna have to bring a lot of things inside. So I'll bring her in. Hopefully she'll do okay once we come inside, but it'll be hot again until like October. So we'll have some hot days. I'll be able to put her outside. Okay, to these little living room babies. They do so well here. We've got a shamrock, an oxalias. This one was gifted to me by my mother-in-law for St. Patrick's Day. They're always out for St. Patrick's Day, so you always see them in the grocery store. She bought a whole bunch of them after St. Patrick's Day when they were on sale. And then she gave this one to me. I think I've had it for about 3 years, and she has hers still too, and hers do really well. Hers blossom. Mine has not blossomed. They get these cute little white flowers, and I have not had that luck. He is sensitive as shit, this little guy. He doesn't like when I have essential oils in the house, he'll die. He doesn't like when he's too close to other plants, and he'll die. In the winter, if we open and close this front door too much, he will die. I can't keep up. They close at night, so I'd really like to do a time-lapse video sometime of them just doing their like, that would be nice. Next, coming up over here, we have a African violet. It has purple leaves that are supposed to come out. My boyfriend gave it to me for my birthday, along with some other plants, and it had the purple flowers on there, and no flowers since. The lady who owns the plant shop that I got it from, who I've gotten a lot of my plants from, is a local plant shop here in town. She posted a picture of her African violets, and they are like quadruple the size of this, and she's had them for like 22 years and they have never blossomed. So the leaves are super sturdy. I mean, look how big they are. They're just fuzzy and cute, and they're very, very strong. So I feel like it's gonna do okay. I forgot to show you another propagation situation. So my African violet lost a few leaves. So I put them in here in this little shot glass with some water, and they are rooting. So it's a little bit of a situation. We'll see if these guys take off enough that I could repot and start another African violet, and maybe it will reroot. I also have this cactus that my sister-in-law has left here, so I need to like do something with him. Okay, this big daddy here is a ficus. On Instagram, you probably saw me not too long ago doing a cleaning video where I got all the dust and dirt off each of the leaves. she was dropping a lot of leaves pretty frequently, so I thought that maybe I needed to clean it. What is it? Little girl. This was a gift I also received after my mom had passed away, received it at the funeral service, and that, like I said, that's truly when my obsession with plants started. I started getting more house plants and not cacti, and this one has done really well. She pushes out a lot of new growth all the time, all year round. She really doesn't even have a dormant phase, and little girl loves to come up behind the TV and sniff it and get in the dirt. She's very cute. So that is the ficus. That is her story. She's very special to me because it kind of reminds me of my mom and like why I want to have houseplants in the first place. She sits here in direct sunlight. She gets some light from this west facing window that's behind me, and she just sits by the TV. That's where she lives. Okay, taking you now to this east, sorry, I should know my directions. This is a south-facing window. Little girl, you like doing the plant tour video? Okay. We've got here in the window, one of my very special additions is a Venus flytrap. He's so cool. He's so tiny. Here's my hand. So, I mean, he is very small. He pushes out new leaves, so proud. He ate a fly. I don't know if you can see that one in the back there. He ate like a full-on sized fly, and he's been eating that sucker for 2 weeks now. And I collect rainwater so to water him. I try to give him the best direct sunlight. He does well in this window. He sits in this little cup so I can put water in so he can sit in water constantly. He eats gnats, he eats flies, and he just keeps growing. So it's pretty fun. It's just a cool thing. Over here we have some more succulents and a little girl. This one was another gift I received after my mother had passed away. I received this from my very best friend, so this one's very special to me. She is a chicks and hens plant, and she was just flat, and then this new like thing came out and it blossomed and it was beautiful, and then the base of it died, and I was like, what's happening? Come to find out, these types of plants, the chicks and hens kind of plants, when it flowers, the base of it will die. Pretty tragic. But I saved from that flower a bunch of the little guys that were sticking out, and I rooted them, put them in water, they rooted, I put them in dirt, and it's in here. They continue to grow pretty long, but they're not growing the way that they originally were when I was gifted it. So I try to do some propagation of the leaves. I take off these little nuggets right here and try to propagate them in a certain ways to get that like flat based chicken hens growth that you traditionally see. I've had it for a few years and it just hasn't done much. This little guy, I had told you at the beginning of the video, I had another cactus that trellised kind of like this. And he was in the same pot as the other cactus. And this one does some flowering. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful red flowers. I don't know what it is though, so if you can identify this for me, please comment below. I don't know how to take care of it either. I always think that like, because the leaves here on the stem die all the time. So one time I like trimmed all of it off and it grew back. I just don't know if I'm supposed to trim it every year so it can flower. These leaves look really solid right now, so I would hate to like cut them off. I think that I should trim it back and let it grow. Let me know what you think. It is a jade, baby. We got this from a friend of ours. She was just like, hey, I did a plant drug deal in a parking lot. Someone said they had plants, and I was like, I want one. She got a whole bunch of jade from them, and hers is really solid, and so she just gave this one to me. Was just like, here, take this one. These new little babies came out the top. I have been debating on cutting this. He is not supposed to be this leggy. He should not have this much space in between. He should be more like this, how they're growing in pretty close together here at the top. It should be like that. So I thought about like cutting it here, and then cutting it here, and then cutting it here. And if I did that, I could stick them in the dirt and let them grow, and then it would be very unfortunate because it would only be like this tall, and it would take years before it grew. but I could get them to grow closer together and a sturdier base because it's supposed to have more of a trunk at the bottom than this tiny little stem. So let me know what you think about that. If you think that I should cut my jade plant and see what happens, let me know. Jam, jam, reflections outside the window. Okay, I was really excited to finally do this video so I could show you this Chinese evergreen because we had a little bit of a situation. My African violet, like I showed you, was gifted to me for my birthday from my boyfriend, along with this plant and one other plant. I'll show that to you in a minute. But once I repotted him, he got fungus gnats so bad. So as you can see, the little yellow sticky pad in there, and around the edge, I put this sticky stuff from the sticky pad around the edge, and then the gnats crawl out of the pot and get stuck to the sticky stuff. It's pretty gross. Like, it's not appealing. But I wanted to wait. I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to do this video so you could see kind of like what I do to get my gnats when I do get fungus gnats pretty bad. I have gotten rid of the gnats and I want to clean. I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol to the base so I can clean it and then take this out because I don't have any more gnats in here, but I've pretty much just held off on cleaning it because I wanted to show you. I might do an Instagram story of a before and after of cleaning it. I do have a solution now to get rid of fungus gnats, so stay tuned for another video about that. I love those sticky pads. They're on Amazon. They're great, but also I have another solution that really kills the fungus gnats. But I mean, really, look at these leaves. Look at the coloring on this. They look fake. That doesn't look real. It looks like a like paint by number situation. I love him. He sits on my desk so I get to see him all day. And yeah, south-facing windows, so they all get really good light right here. Also, my in-laws are staying in town, so that's why there's like a lot of stuff everywhere right now. So there's usually not an air mattress in this room. This is a Scindapsus. It's a silver pothos. I saw this in a girl that I follow. Her name's Harley G. Go check out her videos. She is my inspiration for doing all of this. So go, please check her out. All of this on here is like a silver. So it kind of like glistens a little bit. And maybe if I get on this side in the light, you can kind of see the reflection of it. It's just so cool. It's just a different type of pothos. Super easy to grow. I got it at my living room plant store near us, so it was pretty neat to see that they had this. It's growing. There's a lot of new growth in there. I'm going to keep him up here so that it can kind of trellis down here. Next up, we have this guy here. I always forget the name of him. He came from a plant at work, and the plant at work was named Nigel Thornberry, so I kind of just go with that. There is a name for him. I want to say it's like euphorbia or something, but they get really big and bushy. They should start like legging out and building arms and kind of getting a little bit stockier, but as of right now, he's just getting tall, so hopefully he can grow some more arms. He is very toxic to cats, so he does stay up here pretty high. We also have some more variegated spider plants from the spider plant in the living room. We have, in this propagating, I lost a leaf off of this Scindapsus. So in here we have a Scindapsus. I'm trying to see if I can get it to root. And then this is a leaf off of that begonia that fell off a while ago. I'm trying to see if I can get it to root. There are roots on it, but I truly don't know what I'm doing with it. I don't know how it's going to take off. It's a very sad looking leaf, but I'm just hoping that if I can root it, I can plant it, this leaf will fall off and maybe new growth will come. All right, so now we're in my bedroom, back to a west facing window. I have a south facing window and I have a bunch of west facing windows. So this is a lot of indirect sunlight. I did not put plants in my bedroom until recently, in the past couple of months, and I really like having them in the room, but my cats are such a pain in the ass. They try to wake us up all throughout the night, so putting plants in here is a little risky because they just like to mess with the plants and wake us up. So I got this palm tree. This is another one I got for my birthday, along with the African violet and that Chinese evergreen that I got. So he's in here. I gave him the wrong type of soil, so he's not happy, but like he's still there. I'm very indifferent about palm trees. I got it and it's like, it's cool, it's all right. It like fills this area, but he's not happy. So I try to water him, he gets really dry. He only gets watered from like the top half, and then I try to bottom water him and he just doesn't seem to ever get wet enough. We have some like dead leaves coming in that are drying up. I wish I knew more about palm trees and how to care for him. My cat thinks it's grass, so I have to keep it away from the cat. It's a situation. We have some more spider plants propagating. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then my jade pothos that I have out there with the other golden pothos, I took this clipping off. He rooted. I put him in this dirt and he's barely growing. So we'll see. I'd really like to see if I can get him to trellis down, but I doubt that I can. And we have more spider plants propagating. So easy to propagate. All right, there it is, the plant tour. I have a lot of plants. There's a lot going on here. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of them, hearing some of their stories. If you're interested in more of them, if you have any other questions, please comment below. If I didn't identify it in the video and you want to know what kind of plant it is, let me know. I can let you know. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the cats. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. This is a learning opportunity, not just for you guys to learn about plants, but a learning opportunity for me as well. I want to learn from you guys. So if you guys are out there watching this and you know more about a plant than I do, please tell me. Like, I want this to be a two-way street. I want to learn from you. I want you to learn from me. And if you have like, hey, you said that plant's not growing, this is what you could do, or hey, that soil doesn't look good, let me know. I want feedback. Please let me know. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer. If I don't know, I'll find an answer. If you have the answer to somebody else's question, please feel free to respond to them. I'm happy to do that. I want to let this be like an open dialogue for everyone. And I'm excited to see where everything's gonna go with this. I would like to post more new videos every other week. I am in grad school, I do work 2 jobs, I am really busy. Well, every other week seems about a good plan. I know you guys need consistency if you want to see these videos. Come follow me on Instagram so you can see more. I try to do a lot more on there. So come give me a follow on Instagram. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and so we'll see what happens from there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye!